Yeah, you're still watching Sims. This is my story. This is my song. Our guest for this episode is a multi-talented Cebuana, a singer, songwriter, a musician, and a fashion designer. Friends, let's give it up for the adorable Miss Kate Torralba. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Kate in the house. Represent. Have a seat. Yeah. I love your fan. Thank you for this. Yeah. Mismo. I love it. Yeah. Bagay pala sa akin ng pink.
Gusto ko kasi magkaroon ng fans. Gumawa na lang ako ng sariling fans.
So,
diba?
meron ka ng fans.
Meron.
Yeah. Ako rin, may fan na. Yeah. And this is one... We've been looking forward actually to have you in the show,
and so sweet.
And eventually we got to.
Thank you.
And
so glad.
This is the perfect time because you have an album and we'll be
Yes.
promoting your album.
Yes.
But before that, how are you, Kate?
Wow, I've been so busy. Masaya na busy.
Okay.
Like, I'm very, my schedule is just really filled to the brim. And, I have shows, and
Yeah.
rehearsals, and then, yun nga, like, I've been on a little tour.
Yeah.
So, I've been promoting the album, and I've also been busy doing benefit gigs to
Wow.
help raise funds for Typhoon Yolanda. Meron po akong series, it's called the KT Request-a-thon.
Okay.
So, usually after I do my long overdue set,
Yeah.
I play my songs, I do a set wherein the audience just makes requests, and in exchange, I'll improvise it, I'll play it live,
Wow.
and then they give donations. So, I've done 2 shows so far, and we have raised 70,000 pesos already.
Wow. God bless your heart. God bless your heart.
Yeah. Bless the people who are so generous. And
yeah, of course.
it's been wonderful. Inquirer just wrote about it. And so, yeah.
Galing.
I always believe that we're never too busy to help.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So,
And I commend you for that.
thank you.
Yeah. And of course, marami pa akong gustong tanongin about that. Pero, simula tayo sa simulang-simula.
Yes.
Because it's about you, yung mga questions na probably hindi pa natanong
Yes.
in the past, the songwriter side of Kate Torralba.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I remember back in the day, I see this cute little girl who plays the piano, mean piano, and sings really good, with really good vocals, and eventually, watching her audition in some... Mamaya, pupunta tayo dyan at and you were crying the whole time. So, mamaya, idadivulge natin yung information na yan. But for now, according sa aming bubuit, aming researcher, ay batang-bata ka pa lang daw, ay music na, ay oozing na sa inyong pamilya.
Yes.
Yeah. Sige, pakikwento naman. Pakikwento.
Well, I grew up kasi with my grandparents.
Okay.
So, with my mom, my uncles, sa probinsya, sa Cebu.
Cebu.
So, maraming tao sa bahay.
Alright.
And everyone liked a different genre of music. So,
Okay.
my lolo was very into Frank Sinatra.
Alright.
And then, mga tito ko, they were into the Beatles.
Okay.
So, mga folk rock and country. Eh, syempre, yung nanay ko mahilig sa Carpenter. So, music was always just in the house.
Yeah.
And, when I was 4 years old, everyone in the house decided to take piano lessons.
Alright.
And,
At how old?
I was, them or?
You, sorry.
I was 4.
So you were
I was
4
and so, nagpa-piano lesson sila every Saturday. And then, isang kanta lang the whole afternoon na inaaral nila, Moon River.
Oh, my favorite song.
4 consecutive hours of Moon River. And parang I would say, I want to play the piano. And then they would always say, oh, no, you're a baby. Hindi ka pa pwede.
Yes,
And supposedly, one day, I just went up to the piano and played the whole thing. I learned it by ear.
You showed them.
Yeah. So parang sila, ay, takot naman tong bata.
You just got served.
So that's what happened. And still, they thought I was too young to take lessons.
Yeah.
So I started my first piano lesson at 7.
7, so 3 years later.
Yes, 3 years later. And parang apparently, I picked it up very quickly. So it was classical piano. And then by the time that I was 9, I was sent to the US to perform.
Wow!
So I played my first piano concert in the States, in Los Angeles when I was 9. So, yun po. I mean, I was offered a scholarship there at the conservatory. Pero, again, I was a baby daw, so I wasn't allowed. And, yun, I mean, I went back to Cebu and I continued my lessons until I was 13. Kasi biglang na-realize ko, parang mas maganda yung rock music.
Oy, okay. Nako, you got bit by...
Yeah. So I discovered mga Nirvana, Pearl Jam. So I picked up the electric guitar. And then after that, I was hooked. Gusto ko alternative music. Alternative music, Alanis Morissette.
Of course.
Gusto ko yun. And yun, I always had bands.
Chick,
Yes, so, banda-banda na naman yung life ko. And actually, I was, one of my bands in Cebu, it was called Hard Candy. Nagkaroon kami ng following. And we would join the music competitions.
Battle of the Bands.
Battle of the Bands, Channel V, San Miguel Award. So, nananalo kami.
You won.
Yes. Kasabay po namin kilala mo si Franco? Yes. Kasabay namin. Franco, Sheila and Insect. Pero nanalo kami. Nagba-violin pa ako. Kasi alam ko yung the course.
Okay.
So, I learned the violin din. Tapos, wala lang. Actually, parang, I wasn't very good. But,
was it a phase?
I guess. I can still play, but I'm not proud of my playing. I realized that I'm more comfortable playing the piano.
Talaga. Pero nag-gitara ka rin, di ba?
Yes. So I play other instruments also.
Pink ba ang gitara mo?
Ano po siya? Black na nilagyan ko ng mga Nirvana na sticker.
Yeah. Okay, so eventually, but it played distinct role sa iyong musicality, yung pinagdaanan mong phase na yun sa buhay mo. Yes, definitely.
Because it made me kind of well-rounded in the sense that I could really pick up quickly na parang ito ibang tempo, iba. So I've always been a music geek. Yun lang po. Na I'm just fascinated by how songs are made and I'm lucky because I'm also I'm a performer. I mean, I play the piano and then I can sing. So I'm lucky I can communicate that way.
At translate ka agad.
Yes.
You know, once you hear something.
Yes. Parang kinakapa ako. That's why the Request-a-thon series, I think it's people really love to watch it because they see, parang they'll be like, pwede mo bang tugtugin itong Macarena? And I'm like, wow, I don't like that song. But then they're donating 2,000 pesos. So, sige. So, parang in my head, parang I play the song in my head and then nahahanap ko naman.
Mash up.
So it's...
Wow, Gangnam.
Kahit basta mag-donate lang sila sa mga friends, mga, friends natin sa Tacloban.
Anything for our friends.
Yes.
Yeah. So, with all this, I'll call it adventures. All these adventures na pinagdaanan mo, which is lahat yan part and parcel of becoming who you are now.
Yes.
Paano nagsimula yung professional career mo? Sa music, Sa music? Yes. Mamaya na yung ibang side mo na...
Wow, actually, if you ask me that question, parang I'm also thinking, kailan nga nag-start?
Kailan nga ba?
Kasi it's always been in the background. I've always done it. So even during the peak of my fashion career, naghahanap pa rin ako ng gig.
Okay.
Pag may free time ako, I would ask my friends, hey, pwede naman tumugtog dyan. And, I made friends with sina Mike Villegas.
Of course. The twins.
Sina Perf De Castro, si Ian O'Malley of POT. So, I would tandem with them. We would do small gigs. I mean, they're still considered professional gigs, even if they're one-off lang. Like, I'll play for 2 months. May pwesto gig? Pwesto. For 2 months. And then, when I would get busy, then stop na naman. But I think the big turning point for me talaga was when, right after I joined the Elements.
Okay. Let me explain to them, although maraming tayo na interview na galing Elements. Elements is a yearly thing that we pretty much audition. Usually we get around 300 or so auditionees and then we get 60.
Yes.
The top 60 na palagi namin kailangan yung camp. And then you were in the first batch.
I was in the first batch.
Kayo yung experimental.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's one of the best batches so far.
That's very kind.
And it's the first time I saw you.
Yeah.
We saw the video, but we had to see you in person. So we called you for the number 2,
edition,
the second
yes.
came in. At pakikwento ano nangyari? Well, you ended up crying.
Well, yung kwento talaga nito is that, I'll be honest, when I signed up for the camp, I didn't really intend to go to camp.
Oh, okay.
It sounds terrible, but I just wanted to meet Ryan Cayabyab.
May ulterior motive.
I just wanted, I wanted to meet him because when I was a little girl, idol ko siya. Yes, I'm still little, but when I was a kid, I would watch Ryan.
Of course. Sino bang hindi?
And I was a fan of Smoky Mountain.
Yes.
Not because of the kids, but because of Mr. C.
Yeah, the songwriter.
So even if I was a child, I had a consciousness na of what a good song was. I had a cassette tape. Punit-punit na nga yung ano ko yung what you call that? The inlay.
Yes.
Because I would go over the lyrics and then parang listen to it over and over and parang ang ganda nito kasi nung nag-chorus ang ganda tapos may kwento. And I was a little girl, I asked my mom, can I please watch Smoky Mountain? And I was allowed to. After the concert, gusto ko ma-meet si Mr. C. So I really waited for him and nakita ko siya, lumabas siya dun sa Cebu Plaza Hotel pa.
Okay.
Pero I didn't know, I mean, I didn't have any connections. Hindi kami na-introduce. So I was so sad. And at the audition, I even asked, is Mr. C gonna be there? And then they said, oh, iba yung panel of judges. So I wasn't expecting to see him. And then when I went into the audition studio, biglang may lumapit, Kate, I really like your song. Ganun. Tumingin ako.
There's this six-footer na.
Big guy. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine like 20 years later, you meet your idol?
Correct. Kaya
so I was really, I was so overwhelmed. And I held up the audition for siguro mga half an hour kasi...
nga, tagal. Hindi naman.
I couldn't stop crying. I was just so... Parang naman childhood dream come true yun.
I can imagine. Ako yun Di mo siya makilala.
Naloka ako. Well, you were there.
Oo. At di namin alam, may nagawa ba kami para we were too harsh. We didn't even start.
That's the whole context. I think, I mean, it's nice that you asked me that because, I mean, when you see the video, parang, oh, okay, she's a fan. But to know that it's 20 years in the making.
Tapos finally makita mo.
Grabe.
Pero one of the reasons why we let you in, we were unanimous in our decision.
Oh, thank you.
Because in spite of it all, you were able to perform. Nakanta mo yung kanta mo kahit overwhelmed ka. So malaking point sa amin yun. Na nagawa mo at sa harap mismo ni Mr. C.
Grabe yun.
And
then you made fun of me pa after. Nakatalikod ako. Kunwari, tumingin ako, ba't natutulog sila? Hindi nila type yung song ko.
Explain natin, nakaharap kasi doon yung piano. So tumugtog siya, nakaharap doon, hindi nakaharap sa amin. By the time mamarap siya, nakatutulog na kami mga judges.
Oo. Para ako, bakit sila natutulog?
Pinaglaruan ka namin. Pero we were so impressed. Mamaya kakantahin mo yung song.
Yes po.
Mamaya pa yun.